Hello.
And action.
Hello, my name is Jim Spinelli. This morning I'm going to teach a body weight strength training class that is sponsored by the San Francisco Senior Center. The goal of body weight training is to strengthen each of the muscle groups using our body weight as the primary means of resistance. So today's class format is going to be as follows. First, we'll warm up, and then for each of the muscle groups that we're going to work today, I will offer between 2 and 6 different exercises that address that particular muscle group. I will explain and demonstrate each exercise, and then we'll go and do them. So we'll have 2 sets for each exercise. Each set will last for 1 minute, and you'll have a 20-second rest in between each set. So there'll be 2 sets, 2 minutes, 20-second rest in between each set. In terms of equipment, we designed the class so that you do not need to have equipment, any kind of strength training equipment. However, if you do have bands or tubing or weights, there are some of the exercises that I offer that if you use those, you will increase or enhance the resistance of the exercise. Just in terms of safety and caution, the exercises range from fairly easy to difficult. So make sure that you choose an exercise that you feel comfortable doing, especially feel safe doing. Also, we spend time on the floor, so make sure that you have a comfortable flooring to be on. And finally, if you have not done exercise for a while, it's probably better that you contact your physician to make sure that you're clear to do exercise. Okay, why don't we begin? So we'll begin with a warm-up today. So let's start by just walking out. Start very slowly, walking, walking, walking. Begin to get a little arm swing as we're walking forward and back. So if you can now, just lift a little higher, move a little bit quicker. But again, we're just trying to loosen those muscles up. You don't have to work that hard yet. Now as you're walking along, let's push and pull. Get those shoulders engaged, push out, pull back, shoulders and chest work. Upper back muscles begin to work. Just loosening them up. And now let's push our arms up. Again, just loosening up. And walk it out. Now you can stay here and just walk and continue to warm up, or you can come up and tap, lift and tap your knee. Touch your opposite knee. As you tap that knee, pull that other shoulder back a little bit to get a nice stretch in the chest muscle. Now let's bring that up and tap the shoulder. Now let's go back to that knee. Lift, 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 lift. Now you can stay here if you want, or you can make it a little bit harder by lifting up and tapping your calf muscle. Lift and tap, lift and tap. Requires more of a hip flexion. A little bit harder on the balance. Go back and tap that knee. Okay, good, and walk it out. Now we'll do a heel tap here. Tap your heel. Tap, tap, tap. tap. And then we'll try a few rotation exercises to rotate those shoulders and hips. Tap in. Arms are extended out, chest high, rotating. Now let's swing that up. Good. And walk it out. Now we'll work on the inner and outer thighs with a step to the side. We step to the side and then tap together. So step back and tap, 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 sideways. As we step to the side, we're stretching those inner thighs, getting some range of motion in there. Good. Now as we come back, as we tap, pull back, pull those shoulders back. Now lift them, lift the hands in the air, arms up. If you can tap now, tap your hands together. Now swing those arms up. Okay, good job. Walk it out. All right, very good. Okay, first exercise today, we're going to work on the gluteal muscles and quadriceps. And the first exercise we're going to do is the chair to stand exercise. So if you choose to do this exercise, we sit in the chair towards the front of the chair. Our hands are crossed over our shoulder or they're extended forward if you need a little extra help to get up. The hands are crossed. We're flexed at the hip. Back is still nice and straight in a neutral spine. And then we simply lift up and back down. Lift and take the seat. Lift and take the seat. Very good. The next option we have for this exercise are wall squats. So we stand against an open wall. We walk it out as we slide down so that our thighs are parallel to the floor as we can get them. For some of us, that's harder than others. We're parallel to the floor. And the exercise is simply to hold that position for the exercise period. Finally, the last ones we have here are the squats. So we're standing nice and straight. And then the exercise is to have that butt go back and flex at the hip, back nice and straight, and go all the way down to try to get your thighs as close to parallel as possible. So it's down and lift, down and lift. It's important to keep your knees behind your toes. That's how you can demonstrate that you're using the proper form. And lift. You can also do this exercise holding on to a chair. The same exercise, get a little more balance and stability by holding on to the chair. Okay. First set, when you're ready, Sue.
On your mark, get set, start. 30 seconds. $45. Stop.
Okay, rest up.
All right, we ready for the second set?
Yes.
All right, get into position on your mark. Get set, start. $15. 30. 45. 'Stop.
All right, good work. Now we'll move on to the quadricep muscles, the quads. First exercise that you can choose from is a leg lift. We sit with our back against the back of the chair. And all we do is we simply lift one leg up to parallel, then lift the other leg up to parallel. So it's lift, lift, and lift. If you have bands, or exercise tubing, you can use them to do the leg press. So you take your tubing, place it underneath your foot, put to the back of the chair, lift your leg up, flexing at the hip, holding the tubing tightly at your hip, and extend, press out, press out, press out, press out. The next exercises we're doing are variations of lunge. So the first one is a pulsing lunge. We take one step forward, one step back. Get into a position where our front knee is behind our toe, back leg is extended back. The exercise is to pulse, is to dip slightly and lift, down and lift. Again, keeping the knee behind the toe. Here's where you want to feel it, in the leg that's extended back. So you can do that holding on as I'm doing now, or you can do it not holding on to increase the balance challenge. Okay, the final one is the old-fashioned lunge, where we step forward, dip, and step back. Step forward, dip, and step back. Forward, and step back. Again, our trunk is nice and straight. We're genuflecting. We're keeping the knee behind the toe. We're trying to. Okay, Sue.
All right. On your mark, get set, start. 15 seconds. $30. 45. 'Stop.
All right, rest up.
All right. Get yourself a sip of water and we're going to start again. On your mark, get set, start. $15. 30. 45. 'Stop.
All right. Good work. Now we'll move on to the calf muscles. So the first exercise choice you have here is simply we can lift the leg, flex the toe, push it out, flex it back. So it's extension and flexion of toe. You can add resistance to that. If you happen to have a band or a tubing, take the band or a tubing, put it underneath your foot, work towards the ball of the foot. And then it's the same exercise, except you have a little bit of resistance. And the next exercise for this muscle group is the same thing, except we're standing and using our body weight as the resistance. So we're standing nice and straight. We lift the heels off the floor, come back down, and then lift the toes off the floor. So it's heel lift, toe lift, heel lift, and toe lift. Okay, Sue.
Okay. Get into position. And on your mark, get set, start. $15. 30. 45. 'Stop.
All right. Take a rest. Next, we're going to work on the inner thighs, the groin area, and the outer thighs, the IT band, what they call it. So the first exercise we have, we're standing up nice and straight, holding onto the back of the chair. And then we adduct and abduct our leg. Bring it in, away, swing it out, bring it across. As we lift out, we work the IT band. As we bring it across, we work the groin area. So it's out and in. Try to maintain that nice upright posture.